Awesome. Good evening, everybody. It is February 17th, and welcome to Testimony Tuesday. We've got some great testimonies tonight. I'm really excited. I have not told any of them which order they will go in, so they're just going to go surprise. So, our first one I want to introduce is Kathleen Alexander. She was going to share with us last week, but we were having some technical difficulties. So, Kathleen, are you here and are you ready to go? Just click unmute.
I'll unmute her.
Okay. I think
There
you
we
got
go. Can you hear me now?
there.
Yes.
Yes, take it away, Kathleen.
Okay. I had a surgery done in Turkey. This is about 4 weeks ago. And I had mentioned to the plastic surgeon there that, well, actually, he had noticed that I had a couple patches on my arm. That's how the conversation came up. And had said, "You told me you weren't on any medication." And so, in just a matter of a sentence or so, I explained to him, "No, it's not." And then I had mentioned to him that I actually brought some patches that are to help with pain. And I said, "I'd really like to try them out myself because I haven't had any personal issues to where I could try this particular patch." And he said, "Oh, interesting." And that was about where it ended. So when I woke up, oh, and he did ask me, he did ask me if I had the patches with me, or I showed them to him, and he said, I'll have them in my bag. And so anyway, when I woke up from my surgery, naturally you have your nurse and your doctor there. First question was, "How are you feeling?" And the first words that came out of my mouth was, "I need my pain patch." And he had said, "Well, do you have them with you?" Which really surprised me because I was expecting him just to give me some pain medication, because he didn't elaborate, didn't ask questions, none of that. So anyway, I said, "Yeah." Again, I pointed to my bag and said, "Yeah, they're in my bag." And so he said to the nurse, "Put one on." I had reconstruction done, and he told the nurse to put one on each breast. And so in the midst of that being done, he continued to talk with me, and it may have been 10, 15, 20 minutes. Honestly, I don't know how long. I know it was a short period of time. That part I can tell you. But it was a short period of time, and he asked me, he says, "So how are you doing?" And I kind of, thought for a minute, wow, actually, I'm doing a lot better. And he said, "Well, give me a 1 to 10." And I said, and naturally, coming out of medication, I didn't answer it the way he wanted, the 1 to 10. I said, maybe 70, 75% is gone. I said, "This is actually really tolerable. This is not a big deal now. I'm doing okay." And his, how he responded was, "This is quite interesting." And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. But I got out of it what I was looking for, and that was, what is the result? I mean, I just came out of surgery. I was in a lot of pain. I felt like a elephant was sitting on my chest, and it was intense. And I was actually in surgery for a full 6 hours, he said. So so anyway, that was my testimony. I was quite surprised that I didn't have to use any pain medication.
That is incredible. And I'm hearing that over and over and over again. In fact, we have another testimony. Thank you so much, Kathleen,
You're
for being
welcome.
willing to share that. I am a huge fan of the Freedom Patch. So my friend Corey Chin is on, and this one is going to require a picture. So I'm going to pop a picture on, and Corey, if you will share your testimony, I think people are going to be quite blown away.
I think
Take it
so.
away.
All right. This is actually, my daughter wanted to be on here tonight to share this, but couldn't, because she has a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old. And of course, they always pick the time you want to do something to be fussy, right? So these are some pictures that you'll see our beautiful daughter with her baby up there in the corner, and that was the day of his surgery. So Bear was born, Morgan could tell you better, but a unilateral incomplete cleft lip, and very unexpected. And due to the fact that in Alabama, home birth is fairly foreign. It took quite a while to get his birth certificate. And so it normally babies would get their surgery by 3 months old. He was 7 months old by the time we could schedule this. So you can imagine a well-established little baby who knows his routines, knows his people and all that. So I'm going to talk about two patches, peace, leading up to surgery, and freedom for day of surgery. So Morgan, I always joke that I'm a holistic health practitioner, but she's crunchy. So she is my go-to when I'm like, hey, what should I do for this? So she was very adamant in what she wanted. She did not want him to receive any pain medication unless absolutely necessary. She wanted to see how his body could heal and how he would respond. She and so she put forth a lot of effort, skin to skin immediately put him to breast to nurse for comfort, even though he had just had lip surgery. She just knew that that's where he got comfort. And we placed peace on mama the day, well, actually every day the week leading up to surgery. And we placed peace and freedom as soon as we received Bear back to the room where he was going to recover for the next 24 hours in hospital. One thing I just want to talk about so that you guys understand as well. Babies receive oxy every 3 hours in the recovery.
Oh, Corey, you're muted.
There we go.
There.
Okay, so babies receive oxy every 3 hours in recovery. And when they are fussy, they think, oh, they need more pain meds. So they're given breakthrough Tylenol, meaning if they're still fussy, we'll give them Tylenol between their oxy doses. And so from the moment Bear was back in the room with us, he was put to the breast. It was skin to skin because the technology of touch is beautiful. A peace patch was put on him to calm his central nervous system, and a freedom patch was put on him so that his brain and body could communicate appropriately and in alignment to have better understanding of what he was going through. And the nurses kept coming in on schedule. We need to give him oxy, and he would be sleeping. The nurses would come back in. He's due for pain meds, and he would just be sitting on mommy's lap, looking around, never fussy. And so all of that started around noon. By 11 p.m., we had 3 nurses questioning, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" Because he is far different from every other baby on this floor. And I will tell you, every baby on that floor was crying. He never fussed. He never received one dose of that oxy. He never received one dose of that Tylenol, nothing. He slept through the night on mama and went home the next day. And you can kind of see in that middle picture, it's kind of a little bit far away, but he's actually trying to smile. So we're very, very grateful to the Lord and to Dana and everybody for introducing this to us. We feel like just in time.
Oh, Corey, that makes me so happy. Thank you so much for sharing that. Here's the thing. I tried it, I saw it, gave it to my grandson when he was teething, and I'm like, there's no placebo effect to this because people ask about that. And a little baby can't lie. And then you have a little guy like this who goes through a surgery like that, and you hear how amazing it is to be
And
able to
we
have.
really, really wanted to share with the nurses what we were doing, but it wasn't worth it to us to have the patches removed while in hospital.
Yeah.
And so we chose to just be quiet. But I will tell you, we had a room of healing. We turned off all screens. We had aromatherapy going. The lights were dimmed. Worship music was playing. He had his patches on. She had her patches on, and it was truly a room of healing.
Beautiful. Thank you, Corey. Oh, that makes me cry. Okay. We've got one more tonight, and I'm excited to hear this one as well. Stacy Wiggins, are you on, my friend? If so, please unmute.
Yes, I am.
Okay, right smack dab in the middle. Great. Okay. Take it away, my friend. Can't wait to hear from you.
All righty. That was a beautiful story previous to that. That whew, got chills myself. I've done massage therapy for over 35 years, and touching skin's my business. And so when I started to look at this business, I'm like, this is brand new technology, but it was somehow making sense. And I've also done something called alpha biotics for 30 years, and that's balancing the left and right brain hemisphere. And I thought, what can beat doing what I do? Well, it looks like these patches may be not my competition, but certainly something to help me carry over what it is that I do in person for all my clients. So I was really amazed and astounded that when I put a freedom patch and liberty patch on one of my clients before working on them, as I noticed massaging the tissue, it softened up so much faster, so much, it was incredible. They were able to relax faster. I was able to do quicker or more work in that period of time. And so that really started to pique my interest. And I also teach a spinning class. I do spinning. That's a high activity, high aerobic activity. And I teach that for about 26 years. And I use the victory patch along with the other two patches. And I had an amazing workout. And there's always, it seems like there's a sense if you get something that's going to really give you a great workout, well, there's going to be a back end or a crash and burn or some kind of price that you have to pay for such a benefit. And that did not occur. What actually was phenomenal was after that super heavy duty workout, I didn't have the usual soreness. I didn't have the downtime after a very exhaustive workout. And so that certainly piqued my interest. But much like the earlier stories, as a massage therapist, we can't diagnose and we can't recommend things, but we do offer our advice, our experience. And I know that in the past that when you offer something, it's not all things are good for all people. And sometimes herbs and vitamins, things like that, they have a quality issue. You don't know where they're sourced, you don't know where they're coming from. So I've always been very hesitant. I felt like I'm a gatekeeper, on information because I wasn't comfortable in recommending so many things. But with these patches, after I put one on my granddaughter who had a headache, she says, I have a headache. Do you have anything? And I'm starting to worry, oh goodness, her mom would kill me if I gave her this or that. And then she's like, what about a patch? Put a patch on. And then 5 minutes later, I said, hey, how's your headache? Oh, it's gone, which that's a clue for me because when people get rid of pain, they go on with their life. They go on to business. It's like, I need to do a better follow up because once you get rid of pain, you got them, you got their attention. But, life is busy and we're like, oh, I feel better. Boom, they're gone, just like the little grandchild. So I've really had a great experience in a short period of time, about 2 months, 2.5 months, using these patches. And I'm so excited about the future because every day I'm incrementally feeling a little bit better in one way or the other. And we all know that the air is polluted, the water is polluted, everything that is in our environment is really an insult. And so, what are we doing on a daily routine to offset some of these things that we can't avoid? And this has been, it feels like cheating, feels like a shortcut. This has been one of the best tools that I've found because I have, I've got plenty of tools. This is a frequency tool. I'm sure people have a lot of these masks and, red light therapy. Uh, I've done it all. I've had all sorts of kind of nutritional products. And frankly, I was just getting tired of loading my stomach up and seeing if my GI tract could absorb it or could not absorb it. And so many issues. And these patches eliminate all of those issues. So happy to be a part of all of this.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. I love hearing, we've got users that just use it for at home. We've got practitioners sharing it. I love to hear how it helps you in your practice, but not just that, in your exercise and your coaching that way. I think that is amazing. And you're right. For those of you who have never heard about these patches and you were invited on to hear some awesome testimonies, I just want to give you a little bit of what they do. And then I want to invite you, if you've got some time to stay on, please do. I'm going to jump into a presentation that will go a little deeper into each patch and give you information on how you can share Super Patch to the masses or to your friends and families. But basically what these patches are, they are stickers. We love to just say they're messenger stickers, and they have zero ingredients. Therefore, there's no contraindication. So anybody who's taking medications or supplementation don't have to worry about any kind of contraindications because there's no ingredients in it. They're great for all ages. Our website does state that you need to be 8 years old. That is simply for a choking hazard. So if you noticed on the pictures that we shared when Corey was speaking, Bear had those stickers on his back so he couldn't reach them. I've done the same thing with my grandson, put it, between his shoulder blades and his back so he couldn't reach them. But what it does is it sends a signal or a message to the brain as quickly as if I were to hand you a hot stone, you would know it's hot instantly and you would know to drop it, right? The receivers or receptors in your skin send a message through the ions into the brain that tell you the message it's trying to send. And so we've got 15 different messages, and tonight you heard from several of them or a few of them. And that is as simple as the technology is. I could tell you it's called vibrotactile trigger technology, but you say that 3 times fast and I lost you, right? It's literally a messenger sticker. So with that, I want to thank all of our guests that wanted to share or were willing to share. The importance of telling stories is just that. It's very important. That's what gives us a connection to, is this real? Could this work? Does it work? And when you hear stories like that, especially from professionals or babies or people that have gone through some pretty major surgery, it's good evidence that it works. So having said that, I'm going to share my screen again and jump right into our opportunity meeting tonight and give you some more information. I will hang out afterwards. If you've got any questions, feel free to hang out and we can get those questions answered for you. So let me get back. There we go. Okay, so tonight we are talking about Super Patch, getting back to original intelligence. Okay, OI instead of AI. You've all heard about artificial intelligence. This is original intelligence. Again, my name is Dana Lombardi, and I love to teach people how they can choose different modalities to get to their optimal wellness. And so being a neurological wellness educator lights me up and makes me so excited. But I'm not going to give you that because we're going to get into that here in a moment. I want to give you a little story about my network marketing journey, and why this product has been taken to the masses through network marketing. And it didn't start that way. So I've been in the profession. Next month will be 15 years for me. And I was one of those people that said, MLM or network marketing, that's not, that's just a little home-based business. And you've heard people call it a pyramid and all those things. And so I was one of those people. And if some of you are old enough to remember the crash of 2008, my husband and I fell victim to that. We were self-employed. My husband's been in the construction industry for many years, and we were having a hard time getting jobs, not just jobs, but having people pay for the jobs that were done. We had 9 employees at the time. We did not lay them off soon enough, and we found ourselves in a lot of hot water financially, to the point, so much so that we were in active foreclosure. We're high school sweethearts. We have 4 children. We are waiting on our 9th grandchild to be born soon. We had a false alarm yesterday. That's how soon. But we put all 4 of our kids in private school, and we had not a lot of debt, but we did have a large mortgage in a beautiful home in California at the time, and we were in trouble. And so we ultimately ended up in foreclosure. And the sale date of our home was June 6th, 2011. Okay. So, spoiler alert, we didn't lose the house, but let me tell you a little bit more about that story. In March of 2011, I was invited to a home party to come try this product. I had no idea that it was MLM, didn't care, agreed to go, showed up. I'm giving you the Cliff's Notes version. The product worked. I was totally impressed. But then the presenter goes into the opportunity part, and I tuned her out and went, oh my golly, this is one of those things. And I kind of just tuned her out, but I got the gist that there was an opportunity there. I went home that night, and I'll tell you something very interesting happened. I could not sleep. I had all these people in my mind. Now, I had been praying for $800 to $1,000 extra a month because honestly, that's about how short we were just making ends meet, right? Well, I was hearing heavy on my heart that here's the answer to your prayer. And when you're a busy mother of four and God wants to talk to you, sometimes it has to be in the middle of the night. I got up, I listened, and I just felt like I needed to explore this. I called the rep the next day and said, is it possible to make $800 to $1,000 a month? She said, absolutely, I'll head on over. She came over, she showed me the business model, and I jumped in. I didn't dip my baby toe in there. I cannonballed into that pool and I went to work. I did end up calling the bank June 1st and asked for an extension. I was seeing the income starting to come in and the money was showing up, but I needed more time. So they granted it. So I went back to work. I just worked hard. I worked like it was up to me, prayed like it was up to God. July 1st, I called the bank and asked for another extension. And they gave it to me, but said, we see that we've given you one already. We aren't going to do it again. So your home will be on the auction block August 6th. And if you are not out, we will have sheriffs escort you out with whatever you can carry. Oh, talk about gut punch. I wish I had a peace patch at that point. And I thanked them and I went back to work. And August 1st, I called the bank and asked, where do I wire the money? And I was single-handedly, because of this industry, able to save my home to the tune of over $27,000. And at that point, I realized I had my hand on something really amazing. And I sat my husband down and said, what do I have to make to keep you home? Because we agreed we'd have a stay-at-home parent, or at least a parent at home when our kids were out of school. He gave me that amount. And back then in 2011, we needed $12,500 a month. That was no extras, no mani-pedis, no vacations, no Starbucks. And I was a little deflated, but I realized in that moment, my mentor does that. And if she can do it, I can do it. And I went to work. And on my 12th paycheck, I made $300 more than what he said I had to make. I held him to his word, and he's been home with me ever since. So we are a full-time network marketing family. This is what we do full-time. That is not what everybody gets to do or has to do or even wants to do. This business can be worked full-time, part-time, sometime. So before jumping into a network marketing company, I would want to make sure that I checked 4 boxes before diving deeper into their comp plan and their culture and all of that, right? Number one, you want a consumable product. Why? Well, your customers will use the product, love the product, and reorder the product. So you sell it once and you get paid on it for a long time. Okay, so super patch, we can check that, right? People are going to wear their patch and then they're going to replace it. Each patch can be worn for 24 hours. And so they're going to need a new patch 24 hours later. The second thing that you want to look at is it's got something that you can offer to everyone. Well, you heard different stories tonight. I want to play you a little video to show you that this is my grandson, again, 18, 19 months old in this. He was getting some molars and his teeth were bothering him very much. But this super patch can offer something to everybody from the cradle to the grave, not just men, not just women, but everybody. So we get to check that box. So this is Desmond, and he was fussy all morning.
Can I feel? You're trying to eat your lunch and it's not working, is it? Let me feel. Oh, Baba, does that feel good? Oh, okay. Let's try this. Let's try this. What? Are you feeling better? Are you gonna have some blueberries? Yeah, good. Bubba, how big are you? So big. Hey, Bubba, now you're able to eat your lunch. Is that so good? And you're smiley. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that pain patch really helped you, bud. Yeah, because you weren't even eating those.
So we get to check mark that we have something for everyone. The third box that I would want to check is I personally would not want to enroll or start a business with a company that is less than 5 years old. So Super Patch is actually 17 years old. We started in socks. Our technology was in the bottom of socks, and we were called Vox Socks. That company is still going, but that was traditional, in retail outlets through medical professionals and whatnot. We have been in the network marketing space for 3 years, just a smidge of, we just turned 3 last month. And we've done more revenue in the 3 years in this space than we did in all the 14 years before. So the reason you would want to look for a company that's at least 5 years old is MLM is a lot like the NFL. Everybody wants in, but not a lot of people make it. And it does take about 5 years to get the wrinkles ironed out, right? Do we have enough product? Can we manufacture quick enough? Is shipping on track? Do we have customer service? All those things. In fact, any company that's under 5 years old has less than a 50% chance of making it for the long haul. And the last thing I would want to do is to put all my time and effort and credibility into a company that then folds, right? Fun fact, once a company hits 8 years old, they have a 72% chance of making it. So here at Super Patch, I consider us as a ground floor opportunity within the protection of a 17-year-old company. And then last, but most importantly, I believe is you've got to have a sizzle product. What does that mean? It means it matches timing and trends. It does what it says it does. You've witnessed some of that tonight. Timing and trends, we're coming off of a pandemic, and people's minds are now open to alternative options for taking care of their health. The beautiful thing is we own our own intellectual property. So you often hear that products are protected with patents, right? And that's awesome, but patents expire, right? Super Patch is actually copyrighted. Those never expire. In fact, it survives the person that filed that copyright be 50 years beyond their life here. So we own it. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to have a Me Too copycat out there. There's lots of patches, transdermal and different kinds of technology, but nothing like this that works instantly, and there won't be. So yay, we get to check all 4 boxes, and then we get to dive deeper into the culture and the company itself. Now, why did I choose Super Patch? Well, number one, no ingredients, no drugs, no chemicals, no ingestion. And I hear people say, well, you're so crunchy. And I am holistic. And I am not, I wouldn't say I'm crunchy. I do enjoy, you know, things that are not so crunchy, like French fries sometimes, right? But I do like having options, and I am not anti-big pharma. I am last resort big pharma. And so that's probably the biggest reason I chose Super Patch. It works with the body, not against it. It's simple, safe, and non-invasive, and people are getting results quickly. You saw and you've heard how quickly these results happen. It's pretty great. Super Patch uses that VTT technology that I explained. And basically, they're communicating, each of the messages are communicating with the nervous system through the skin. Okay. And the body responds naturally. We don't have to force it. Our liver isn't screaming at us, and there are no side effects, which I love. So, with that, I love that we are not a copycat Me Too company. Now, I just want to watch. I just want to show you, here is a stability test. Now, our main patch, which you're going to learn about here in just a second, is called the Liberty patch, and it works instantly. It lateralizes the brain, meaning if you're stronger on one side than the other, you're going to become equal or even or balanced or homeostasis, however you want to say it. Okay. It helps with mobility. It helps with stability. This is the gal that I met last weekend at an expo, and she was gracious enough to let us film her. I sped it up for our viewing purposes, but I want you to pay attention to how easily I was able to get her feet off the ground and then pop the patch on, and how difficult it was to get her foot off the ground. Here we go. So this is a beautiful way to show somebody how it works instantly. I am reminded back in 2011, that night I was sitting at that party and I was experiencing a product, not this one, but maybe even kind of similar, where I was able to see some instant results, and that's what sold me. So that makes this business easy. All you got to do is pop a patch on people, do this little test, and they believe you. Now, where did we start? This is Jay Dollywall. He is our founder and CEO. And his mom was diagnosed with MS back in 1984. And fortunately, Jay had made a lot of money in the tech industry. And in his words, he made more than he could spend in a lifetime, which actually afforded him the best possible care for his mom. And he watched and noticed that the medical profession could only take her so far until they came and said, look, this is about all we've got. Her brain isn't hearing her body, and her body isn't hearing her brain. There was a disconnect. And that triggered something in him. And he spent 14 years and 25 million dollars of his own money to research how to rewire the brain, or how to send signals to the brain. And fun fact, he noticed, or he discovered, that we all think that the brain works in waves, right? It doesn't. It actually works in spirals. And so the question was, can I re-spiral? Can I do an equal opposite spiral to send a different message? Can I unspiral? All of those questions were answered over the course of 14 years, and that is how Super Patch was born. Now, Jay is all about the best, being the best, having the best. He doesn't cut corners. And so I want you to take a look at this screen here. This is our scientific and performance advisory team. And you'll see doctors, surgeons, health practitioners, athletes, top level athletes. You may recognize some of these faces and names. We've got a sportscaster who's also involved in, I believe, some sort of MMA martial arts. We've got the best of the best. None of these people are on our payroll. We don't pay them to say that Super Patch is amazing. They chose to use Super Patch and partner with us and be part of our advisory team. So if you're interested in doing any research on any of these people, take a picture of this screen real quick, and you can spend some time doing that. Better yet, you can get with the person that invited you tonight and ask for their link. And if you go to the front page of our website, you're going to see all these people, and you can actually click into them and read their bios. So it's pretty impressive. We actually got to hear some of them speak, not this weekend, but the weekend before that. I also want to call your attention. Every single one of our patches have been independently studied, double blind, And Jay made a commitment that when these studies come out, he was going to publish the results regardless if they were good or they didn't turn out right. And the beautiful thing is they've all turned out great. You can see there's some read more button at the bottom of these. You literally have this on that website as well. So if you are a white paper person and you like to geek out and read those kind of studies, they are all here on the front page of our website. So I want to encourage you to take a look at that. All right, so let's get into our patches. We have 15 different codes. You're seeing 13 of them here because we just launched 2. So we'll get to those at the end here. But let's talk about freedom. You heard about that. That is our pain patch. It's clinically proven to reduce pain up to 72%. You ask the people that we just talked to today, and they are going to say it was 100%. Every body is different. This was my first experience. My friend Lori gave me a freedom patch for a shoulder injury that I was in a lot of pain, just in time for me to go horseback riding and fly fishing and line dancing. And I was able to do all of those things pain-free. So this was my first experience and I was blown away. Like I took the pain patch off and I'm like, oh, nope, put it back on. Pain was gone. So amazing. If you are a energy junkie, energy drink junkie, I want to highly encourage you try the Boost. There's no caffeine, no sugar, no jitters, no stimulants, no crash. Now, here's the thing. When you pop this patch on, you don't go from exhausted to ramped up, right? You just have the energy, the flow of your energy to keep you going through the day. I love this because if I need a little extra energy at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, if I drank a cup of coffee, there's no way I was going to sleep. I can pop this patch on and get through all the way till bedtime, take the patch off, and I'm able to sleep. Liberty is what you just experienced in that little fast-paced stability test. This is going to give people better balance. We've seen amazing results. There are practitioners and coaches I know all over the country, but right here in the Boise area that teach fall prevention classes so that maybe the elderly that aren't quite balanced anymore now can be more balanced. And they're finding amazing success with this patch. REM, sleep is the biggest health hack you can have. REM is clinically proven to help you fall asleep 50% faster and stay in that deep REM sleep 25% longer. This guy takes a little time to work. Some people notice it patch number 1. Some people need a couple of weeks. Why is that? We have to get back into the circadian rhythm. And so this is going to help sleep train you back to that and break and change any bad habits of waking up through the night. This is not a medication. Therefore, if your bladder tells you you need to wake up, you're going to wake up. But the beautiful thing is you'll go right back to sleep. Okay, so that's our REM. Peace, probably my favorite. This is going to take the body into a state of peace or parasympathetic. Sometimes when we've dealt with chronic anything, chronic pain, not sleeping, all of the above, right? Our body can go into fight or flight mode, and this patch will take it out of fight or flight. It takes away the dread feeling, any of that anxiety that you may be feeling. Defend. I love this one. This supports a healthy immune system. I witnessed this on my husband who has struggled with allergies his whole life. We've had it under control, but we were at a friend's house and their cat was sitting next to my husband and his nose was going and his eyes were going and he was sneezing, like obnoxiously sneezing. And Lori said, hold on. And she grabs the Defend patch and within a minute, all of that the sneezing stopped and all the rest of it started drying up. So we witnessed that and thought, what the heck do we have our hands on? Focus. Have you ever walked into a room and gone, why did I come in here? This will stop that. Have you ever sat down to get a task done and then you find yourself wanting to go switch the washer and dryer and maybe answer an email and maybe start dinner and maybe this is going to help you with laser beam focus, start to finish a project. It's going to help improve cognitive performance and even enhance your memory. Ignite. This supports the metabolism. I just tested this in the month of January and I was quite blown away. And I did so without changing my eating habits. In fact, I traveled for 9 days out of the month. So I wasn't even in charge of what I was eating. And this is clinically proven to help you burn 25% more calories, which equates to about 300 to 500 extra calories a day. And for me, I know that if my body was burning 500 calories, that would be, a pound a week. If it was burning 300 calories, that would be, 2 pounds to 2.5 pounds a month. And sure enough, I was down 2.5 pounds in the month of January using this patch. So, and I maybe felt a little more energy, but didn't really forgot I had it on most days. Joy, if you struggle with maybe getting wintertime blues, if the sun hasn't been out and you haven't gotten your vitamin D, maybe you struggle with a little bit of depression type symptoms, this patch will be your best friend. This tells your brain to do what it needs to do to release those happy hormones that we may not be releasing. So love this one. I've used it several times and have a great testimony coming from my daughter, who's seen great results with that. Kick It. This is amazing for those looping thoughts. If you've ever had a thought where you were like, did I lock the car? I think I locked the car. I don't know if I locked the car. I should check the car. You're obsessive where you got to go out and check it. Maybe an addiction. I need to stop smoking. I want to stop smoking. When's my next cigarette, right? I want to stop eating the chocolate that's in the pantry, drinking, smoking, drugs, any kind of looping thoughts. This Kick It patch will stop that loop in its tracks. So that's an amazing tool to have on hand. Lumi is one that I wear every day. I usually wear it on one side or the other of my chest. You can wear it anywhere you want to. It promotes this beautiful glow with cellular turnover, which also means it's great for your digestive system, for your intestines, because it's the same type of tissue and we want those cells to turn over and stay happy all the time. I noticed within an hour that I had a glow about my skin. So I love Lumi. Rocket was originally created for men. But there are no ingredients in it, so women can wear it. In fact, we're finding that women order this and use this more than men do. It works with the endocrine system and will help to your body. Your brain will send a message to the endocrine system to balance out the hormones that might be out of balance. Originally, it was meant for stamina, endurance, libido, just to have your mojo back, right? So I am testing Rocket out for the month of February, and I will report back my results at the end of that. So love that one. Victory, you heard a little bit of that tonight. This is for the athlete in you. Yes, we have professional athletes using this. In fact, it's in every NFL locker room. And we're finding that there is an increased stamina. People are stronger. They're able to work out more than they thought. It also affects the brain. Have you ever had a coach say, get your head in the game? That's what Victory is going to help you do. And you can also use this one for mobility and stability and get that brain lateralized very similarly to the Liberty. Okay, now our new patches, we've got Assure and Zen. Assure is for all things nausea, dizzy, any kind of vertigo type symptoms. Amazing. So if you are newly pregnant and you've got that morning sickness, pop an Assure on. Why? Because there's no ingredients in it. It's safe for everybody. If you haven't gone on the cruise because you're worried that you're going to have a nauseous tummy all the time, you get car sick, you catch my drift, that is Assure. I think that should be in everybody's medicine cabinets for those crazy times. And Zen, if you were here early, you heard a little testimony that we didn't quite plan for, that Joni on here said she put Zen on for the first time and she couldn't stop smiling all day. She was feeling peaceful. This guy helps. This actually does so much. We haven't completely been trained on all of the things. I have been wearing it myself and I am in the zone and I'm creative and I can see things that normally I would just take for granted or not notice was there, but I'm into the details and my focus is on point with Zen. So that is our patch lineup. We are constantly in research and development. We've got some exciting patches on the way. They're researching those right now, and they will not hit the market until we know they work 100%. So we can look forward to innovation continuing. All right. I'm just going to pop up some of these testimonies that I screen grabbed out of our group, which I'll tell you about here in a moment. If you want to take a little picture of this, you can, but all this is to prove the testimonies are flooding in. You've heard some tonight firsthand. People are getting amazing results with these, and it's life-changing for many, many people. So, all right, let's move on to the two type of people that are interested in Super Patch. We have product users. These are our customers, okay? If this is you and you want to just get your hands on those patches for your own personal medicine cabinet and use, you get with the person that invited you and ask them for a link and go to their site. You just click shop or shop all. Choose what price you want to pay. So every one of these patches gives you an option. You get a discount because you're getting it from a referral link, right? And you aren't going to pay 99, you're going to pay 69 unless you choose to subscribe into our smart ship where you can get patches every single month. You can change them and edit them at any time, but you'll pay $65. Okay. Now, if you're somebody that's like, you know what, I want to share this, I'm looking to make a little extra money or replace a full-time job, whatever that is, these are our business builders. It is $40 to join. That is to set up your account. That gets you a wholesale pricing, and you actually have the opportunity and access to kits. We're going to talk about those in a second to buy in bulk for additional discounts. So you can sell them directly to people, to the end users, make a nice profit off of those. Okay. You get your replicated website. You get a back office where you will see reports. There's training and resources back there. And it's $25 annually to renew. So again, you would just get with the person that invited you tonight, ask them to send you a link and get signed up right away because our founder is so generous that he is constantly offering incentives and contests and fun ways to help us change our lives in a financial way as well. Okay. Oh, so you'll click, once you get that link, you'll click become associate and you'll just follow the prompts all the way to the end. Okay, let's talk about two patch packs that are available to you. Our first one is called the Flex 40. This is how I came in. You get 40 patches. You get to choose the patches that you want and as many of each one that you want, up to 40. This brings your per patch per pack per patch pack price down to about $38. So if you're selling them in a brick and mortar or end user to the end user, you've got a really nice profit there if you're selling them anywhere from $69 to $99. Okay. I love this one because you get to pick your packs. Okay. Now, the other pack that's available to you right now is called the Omega. You do not get to pick your packs, but you can see at the bottom there, you get some Liberty, some Victory. You get a really nice variety. This one's $749. Both of these packs allow you to be commission qualified. So I'm sorry, no, Fast Start qualified. Okay. And Fast Start is just a little bonus structure we have built into our compensation plan, which I want to show you right now. So this is our compensation plan at a glance. If you want a copy of this, we absolutely can send you a copy of this. But if you look at the top, let's focus in on that top here for a second. If you look up here, we've got these bonuses. So when you come in with one of those kits, you now are eligible to earn. The first bonus is called the hat trick. You have 30 days to enroll 3 associates with one of those kits, and we're going to give you $200. Okay, now that's $200 just in bonus money. You're also going to earn what's called a spiff off of each of those packs. If you sell 3 of those Flex 40s, let's say, you're going to get $100 each Flex 40 pack. Okay, so there's $300. We're up to $500 now, and you're going to earn commission on each of those packs as well. So you can see that you can reclaim your investment quite quickly. Now, the next one is our all-star bonus. It's $400. You just basically help those same three people do exactly what you just did. They're going to earn their 200 and you're going to get 400. And you have 60 days to accomplish that. Okay. Again, that's just on top of all the extras. Now we've got a driver bonus, and this one is paid monthly. You can earn an additional $200 a month. Every month that you enroll 3 associates with one of those packs, you will earn $200. Now, here is what I want to say. I've been here since November, and I want to say 2 or 3 of those months that I have been here, our CEO has made it to where you can earn that for every 3. Normally it's just 3 and then you get that 200, but he sometimes he really wants us to be paid, right? He'll give us the opportunity to take multiple. So if you enroll 6 people, that's $400. If you enroll 9 people, it's $600 addition. So you can see how that income can add up quickly. Okay. Our comp plan is considered unilevel. If you're in network marketing and are familiar with that, you're going to love that it's unilevel. If you're not, you don't need to know. We're going to teach you everything that you need to know as you go. Okay, support. That is what people ask. Well, how am I going to get support? I've signed up for these things before and I don't get support. We have support. Our first group is It's Not Magic, It's Neurocoding. That is actually a tool that you can invite your prospects, anybody that's interested in learning more about Super Patch, you can invite them into this group. Nobody's link is in there, including yours. We do not allow links in there, but there's files in there that's full of studies. There are testimonies similar to what you saw on the screen and what you heard tonight in there. There is information about what each patch does. We have tons of support. It's a place where you can ask questions, get answers, and grow your business. We also have team pages. These are for people that only, they want to do the business. It's not for customers. This is where we're going to train you. We're going to keep you updated as to what the incentives are happening, any announcements from corporate, answer your questions, get you trained, all of the above. Here's what I'm really excited about. Jay Dollywall just invested a lot of money into this launch program. And what's amazing about this is once you get an ID number, you can log in here and it is going to walk you step through step on what to do first, what to do in your first 48 hours, what to do next, what to do then after that. It's got resources in there. You do not have to worry about not knowing what you're doing. You just go through here, you start at the first one and you work your way through. It keeps track for you. So if you leave it and you come back to it, you can start right where you left off. It's amazing. Of course, your upline, your sponsor, they have a responsibility to point you in the right direction and give you the support that's possible. And of course, our very own Troy and Lori Olds. And there's my husband and me. We are here for all the added layer of support. So you don't have to worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to support you from beginning to end. And with that, I want to thank you for taking time out on a Tuesday and learning about this amazing opportunity. I do want to encourage you to get back to the person that invited you to this Zoom and get a link, get started, join the party. We have so much fun. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing and we'll open it up for questions if anybody has questions.
Hi.
Okay. Yes. Hi, Debrin.
Hi. How many is there a limit to the number of patches you can be wearing? Like,
Great question. Great question. You can wear as many patches as you want to. I would recommend, it's highly recommended that you don't wear REM and Boost at the same time for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I wear on average about 5 or 6, sometimes 7 a day. So yeah, you can. Just listen to your body. If it's telling you too much, because I had that experience once with a new patch, take a few off and just add them slow, little by little. But yeah, you can wear as many as you want to.
And does it matter in what part of your body you use it for, like, say, pain? Do you put it where the pain is? I mean,
great question. Yes, you can wear all the patches anywhere on your body except you do want to be a little more strategic with the pain. You want to place that between the pain and the brain. So, if my shoulder's hurting here, I'm going to place it here or slightly above, right?
Okay.
Not below.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. That's good.
great
Thank you.
question. You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay, Amy's asking for a copy of the comp plan. Is that what you were asking for, Amy? You can get that in one of our groups, or ask the person that invited you to this meeting. And yes, we do Testimony Tuesday every Tuesday, same time, same place. Okay. And Christine, what's the difference between focus and Zen? Focus focuses you. Zen does a whole lot more. It actually activates, I want to say 4 or 5 parts of the brain. Mood is part of it. Cognitive functions part of it. Of course, focus, happy hormone, our mood enhancing. Lori has had an experience with this patch before it actually came out. Lori, do you want to add anything to that?
Sure. There's a lot of testimonials on memory with I've noticed with Zen, I've noticed a cognitive uplift. It's almost as if I see clearer. Like there's a lot of testimonials on better eyesight, and it feels like everything just opens up and I have a broader spectrum. It's really, really beautiful.
So when you do that, Lori, did you stop using the peace and the kick it and the joy, or are you using them with the Zen as well?
I've only had Zen since Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And to answer your question, I have not put those patches on. But those aren't really ones that I need on a daily anyway.
Okay. Because I use that daily, but I didn't want to necessarily do it all at once.
Try it alone and see how you feel.
Perfect. Thank you.
I do still think, Christine, that if I needed to sit down and get something done computer-wise, which isn't my forte, I would still put on a focus because I haven't felt that with Zen, if that makes sense.
Zen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions? Let's see, Annette says I got clarity and coming up with ideas and solutions on Zen. Hone in on problems better. That's a great testimony, Annette. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, I want to thank you for coming tonight. And again, if questions arise tonight, or as you get into the website and you do a little more research, you're placing your order, which I hope you all join us. Make sure to get back to the person that invited you tonight. And if they don't have the answer, they know how to get the answer. So with that, thank you so much for joining, and we will see you next Tuesday or sooner.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dana.
Thanks,
Amazing.
Thanks,
Good
Dana.
night.
That was beautiful. Thanks, guys, for joining us. See you next week.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Bye. Thank you.